All right, what's going on, Tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be looking at Gilat satellite networks. Okay, this is ticker symbol GILT, and this was a viewer request. Okay, I'm going to be putting out viewer requests on Fridays from now on. So if you have a stock or a crypto you guys want me to analyze and chart up for you, let me know down below, and I'll go ahead and do that. So we're looking at the weekly chart right now. I'm showing you guys the weekly demand zone. We bounced off of this weekly demand zone when we touched it at around like 655, and then we recovered, but it's still trading sideways and mostly going down, right? Look at the trend down. It's been going down. All right. We had a weekly gap to fill. Okay, that's right here. That's this blue gap. Gaps tend to fill about 90 to 95% of the time. If you watch a lot of my videos, I like to chart the gaps up for you guys so you guys see them and are aware. This gap fell down, and it's been on my radar. I definitely like it. It's got really, really great long-term potential. And the reason it's 10x potential, right? We'll zoom in a little bit more. Is because let's look at where it's at right now. Okay. This is 7.5. Right. So if this thing goes up to, okay, in my opinion, right? Satellites and Cathie Wood is a big investor in Gilat, right? So remember, this isn't financial advice, this is just my opinion. But she's a big investor in them. And they do a lot with satellite communications. Now, people are looking for cryptocurrency and technology and the globe to basically connect a lot more, right? It's going to be satellites that do this. Elon Musk is involved in similar style things, right? With his Starlink satellites, right? Working on satellite communications. Gilat is an Israeli-based company, an Israel-based company, and they deal with a lot of military defenses. They have a lot of military defense contracts and also a bunch of 5G, like satellite or like a bunch of 5G stuff, right? So, that's their expertise. This area is expected to grow 5x in the next 5 to 10x over the next 5 to 10 years. So that's why Galat right now at the prices that it's at right now is a really good deal, because I could definitely see this trading at 50 to 100 in the next 5 to 10 years. So the reason this thing has been bleeding so much, if you're wondering, is because hedge funds and institutions, right? And they're making all their money shorting this, right? They're not putting their money in this. They've been pumping Apple, they've been pumping Tesla, they've been pumping the S&P 500, the QQQ, right? All these major indexes were making, all these newer highs and running, while the small caps were bleeding. That's where the money was coming from, right? Is they were shorting it, taking some profits on the shorts, and then that's when you would see a pop, okay, a big pop. There's been many big pops that aren't long lived in these small caps, and then it just continues to go back down. What that is sellers are taking profit. For every buyer there has to be a seller. So these sellers are taking profit, and they're taking big amounts of profits, which is causing the price to come up. You know what I mean? Because someone's buying what they're selling, right? So that's basically what's been going on. Currently we have a gap down to watch out for. So, I think that we're going to come back down into this demand zone or test it again like we did here previously. But look at this nice 4-hour gap down. Okay, so we found support right on top of the gap right there. So that was like a false little tester to see if we're going to get that gap fill. And then it recovered back up. And today we're bleeding back down. February is historically bad for stocks. Okay, guys. So, be prepared to see Galat dip more and look to, accumulate some long-term positions in this demand zone between 650 down to about like 525. Okay. That's my demand zone. If you need a tutorial on how to draw supply and demand, I have a tutorial in the top right-hand corner of this video. You can click that, watch that. It'll really help you out. Supply and demand is much more effective than support and resistance. Support and resistance is like the little brother. And when you're just getting started, you can do support and resistance. I got a tutorial on that as well in the top right-hand corner of this video. Maybe start there with that. But once you get support and resistance down, what you're really going to want to learn is supply and demand, because algorithms do about 70% of the trading. And these hedge funds that have billions and trillions of dollars, they're using these algorithms. A lot of times humans aren't even behind a lot of the decisions and between buying and selling these days in the market anymore, because humans are programming these AI codes, and these algorithms are doing the trades for them, right? So, that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. And that's why this demand zone is going to be important, because this is where they're going to drive the price down to, the market makers, if their algorithms and such continue to keep, doing so. All right. So that's where I would say is to load up on shares, be patient right now. February is a bad month. You could see some little fake rallies in between. I know shorts are starting to cover their positions in a lot of small caps, which, it gives me confidence that they're going to have a good year in 2022. So I think that, Gilat could either be a swing trade, if you can get in low, right? Or it is a good long-term investment. All right. So again, not financial advice, just you guys as friend trying to help you out and chart up, these stocks that you want charted up. So let me know what stocks you guys want me to analyze next, what kind of tutorials or strategies you guys want me to use, or make. And, if you're wondering how to set your screen up like mine, I have tutorials on how to set up, the screen like mine. Okay. You can look up my trading strategies, or what, um, studies I use, right? What indicators I use. I have a whole playlist on my channel, called strategies and tutorials for that, where you can, watch some videos there, and it'll be really helpful.